Welcome to a new daily top AskReddit video. Today's topic:
what happened to the bully in your class? He was killed shortly after being released from prison. He apparently had a beef with someone and went to their house with a gun, kicked in their front door, and was immediately shot and killed. Wow, that's rather wild. Dude definitely thought it would go like the movies. When you play it out in your head, you never expect someone to actually have a reaction to your behavior. It was like the movies, for the other guy. He now owns his father's huge, massively lucrative construction company, which is exactly what he said he was going to do, and also let us know how much richer he was going to be than us. So yeah, it sucks BC it came true. Well, there's still time for him to develop a crippling cocaine addiction or something. So take heart in that. Befriend him and slowly get him hooked, or get a mate to sell him it smirk. In seriousness though, don't be ruining their life, just forget they exist. Mine became a professional football player in the NFL. I get to watch him on TV now. Fuck. Well, he'll most likely end up with CTE, so you've got that to look forward to. After years and years of being bullied in middle and high school by one particular guy, I took my dad's lawnmower in to get serviced, and look who we have here. Good ol' racist fuckboy Sean walks up to the counter covered in dirt and oil and sweat. He immediately knew who I was. Funny thing is, I hated this dude for so long. I even had a vision on snatching him by his shirt over the counter and beating his face into the ground. I was skinny skater punk now. Nothing was said between us during that interaction other than the services I needed when I went to go pick the lawnmower up a week later. He asked me to step outside. In my mind, I'm thinking, this is it. I'm going pummel this dude. He lit up a cigarette and for about 15 minutes apologized for how he treated me in middle school and high school. He told me about how he was brought up and he's never been as tough as he came up. After high school he went in the military and was forced to work with other races. He even explained that his hatred towards people that weren't white faded away BC of the Marines. He said he had been fucked over more by his own race than others and started to think about his ideology. He is a humble guy now, with regret, but is man enough to admit his faults. We shook hands and even hugged. I haven't seen him in about 10 years, but if I do see him again I still shake his hand. Damn. Congrats party popper, you witnessed something no person usually gets to witness. Oh for sure. It still motivates me to be a better person to this day, and that interaction was almost 9 or 10 years ago. He died the summer after graduating high school. Mixed too many drugs and alcohol at a party. Very sad for his younger brother, who was a great person despite his brother. Yeah, I'm pals with my old bully's sister. She's a very nice person. It sucks her brother died. Even if he was a dick. Hang on. Everyone's bully is dead. So mine just died, 16 years after high school. My class is going to his funeral as a group and sending flowers. I just don't want to be involved. Am I a bad person for ignoring it totally? There is no reason to go. A funeral is a memorial to the deceased. I'd offer that if you have no positive presence there, it isn't the right place for you to go. Think well for the family and anyone who is mourning their loss. But no, I wouldn't go were I in your shoes. No, you are not a bad person. People die and suddenly, oh, they were such a great person. No, some people were just cunts. For whatever fucking reason, he asked me out a few years after graduation. He bullied me. Had this happened to a friend? She ran into our mutual bully at a party in college. He was hitting on her and she was ignoring him. She finally told him to fuck off using his name. Apparently he was shocked to realize she knew him. She apparently asked him why he thought she'd ever be interested in hooking up with someone who bullied her so much back in grade school. Apparently his response was something like, "Wow. I was such an asshole back then." That's a pretty good response, all things considered. I never got the concept of bullying, picking on your crush. Like, what would anyone expect their outcome to be? Mine told me, after years of torture, that he thought if he made it so that nobody wanted me, he could then swoop in and get me. Now I still catch myself being overly suspicious of people like 15 years later. In jail for strangling his girlfriend. Thankfully she survived. Those who strangle a partner are significantly more likely to murder them compared to other domestic abusers. Yep, 700% more likely. And with a gun, specifically. I'm literally getting someone into a shelter right now to get them away from this shit. Strangulation is called the last warning shot for a reason. I kid you not, we had a 5-foot-tall bully in our school. He gained favor with some of the bigger bullies, and I suppose that afforded him carte blanche to act like them. Anyways, a few short years after HS, he fucked with the wrong dude at a party and they followed him home and shot him dead on his mom's front lawn. Not to the same extent, but there was someone like that at my school. Short little dude who got a big man complex cause of the bigger bullies he rolled with. At an after-grad party he got jumped and someone took a metal rod and branded his leg after they dipped the rod in the fire. Post that incident he works for a non-profit for kids in abusive home lives. Makes me wonder what he had going on behind the scenes. Lots of bullies get bullied at home, and that is why they take it out on others. It gives them a sense of power when they have none in any other area of their lives. This isn't true of all of them, but a good portion. Beat a fellow drug dealer to death during a transaction gone bad. Sentenced for murder, but then somehow it was downgraded to manslaughter. Served about 10 years, and judging from his FB posts, I know his brother. He has a girlfriend, a job, and has cleaned up his act. Edit to add what happened. Just looked up the story. He was convicted of second-degree murder with depraved indifference. Then the State Court of Appeals changed the law interpreting the definition of the charge. The federal court vacated the conviction, finding that the defendant was factually innocent of depraved indifference murder. He agreed to plead to the lesser charge of manslaughter. So he had already served 10 years and was released after the plea to manslaughter. Yeah, see, all it took was a little bit of support and murder. Bit of support and manslaughter. I don't know where you are, and I am not a lawyer. But, as far as I know, in the eyes of the court, murder is premeditated. If he beat a guy to death in a drug deal gone bad, I can totally see a lawyer shaking that down to manslaughter charge. I'm not saying it was right or anything, but that's likely somehow, it got changed. Bro called Saul Skull. In America, I believe first degree is premeditated, but second degree can be considered impulsive. I am also not a lawyer, ha ha ha.